I'm totally getting unloaded by Cheech and Chong back there. They're yelling at each other. The one on the forklift, they only have 6 pallets to take off because I took a partial back from upstate New York, and I'm delivering it now. It's like 6 in the morning. Dude, fucking Cheech and Chong arguing with each other over who's forklift certified and who could actually drive a forklift better. The one that's driving is like doing, I guess he's doing fine. I seen him taking things off, and the other guy constantly yells at him, "Oh, go left, down, up, down, left, right," and it's pissing the guy that's sitting there. So finally, he shuts the fucking forklift off in the trailer, and I hear him argue for about 45 seconds. "You want to drive this, motherfucker? You drive. You don't stop telling me bullshit." Yeah, I wish I had the fucking recording running. But, oh, take this off. Yeah, they're back there, way back there. Pallets are small too. It's not even like shit's tipping over and all that. It's synthetic fibers for some old textile plant here. So it's kind of fucking funny. That's ridiculous. What's crapping, everybody? So this is probably going to be a bad news video. So about last week, it was Thursday night, and I was in way west New York, south of Buffalo, and truck just shut down. I thought it was something wrong with the fuel system or whatever. It was acting like it wasn't getting any fuel. Honestly, it was acting like it acted when one of the injectors went out a while back, and they replaced the injector. So I looked around. Look, I was right outside Jamestown, and we found a really good place to get towed to. The towing guy even recommended it. It was Boyles something, and they figured out the problem immediately, and they were on it, and the mechanic was really good about it. 3 bolts had snapped off in the rocker arm assembly and on the upper end of the engine. And immediately when he said it, I was just concerned that shards of metal from the bolts or whatever hit the bolts in there is all over the engine and in the fucking oil and fucking everything up, you know. Because I tried to restart it and tried to run it again. I'm like, oh, you know, I changed out the fuel filter on it, thought it was clogged, and I tried to start the engine again. So every time I was cranking, I might have just been taking a bigger risk that more metal is getting in the engine, you know, and in places it shouldn't be. So it was pretty chaos, man. Like we actually it was Wednesday night. I apologize. We stayed there overnight Thursday, and then Friday morning, they fixed most. They didn't fix it. They were able to take off the valve covers and the rocker arm assembly, and then he easy outed all the 3 bolts that were broken, and that took them 4 hours of labor just to do that and make sure they didn't ruin the head while they were doing it. So all in all, they couldn't find the parts anywhere, so we had the parts sent here, and unknowingly my mechanic had a spare C15 head with a rocker arm assembly. He got the bolts and sent it over. My mom drove 46 hours, 7 hours to bring it to me. Initially, I was going to tell her, just come pick me up. So me and the dog could just come home because it was going to take them forever to order bolts from Caterpillar. So, long story, the result of all this is, you know, truck's got 1.8 million miles on it. It had a rebuild at 1.1. That's what, I called in to, I think it was Carlisle Caterpillar that it got done at. I have the records and everything from the owner before me. And I asked him, you know, can you give me details of the rebuild on this or whatever? So I have all that written down somewhere. But the bottom line is, pretty sure I'm getting out. And I was pretty sure I was getting out of the truck, not the business entirely, but I'm definitely going to go to work somewhere, either as a company driver or as a lease operator. I think a lease operator could be really profitable as long as I can use my own fuel card, because the fuel surcharge that they're paying in some of these companies is more than the fuel cost would be on an 8 mile per gallon vehicle, which most of the trucks are provided are going to get 8 or higher for these lease purchases or whatever. I don't even want to purchase the motherfucker. I just want to find a good lease place and go. I've been looking around. I've been researching, but I just don't want to do the authority anymore, man. Like, I still haven't gotten my renewal from my insurance people, so we're gonna figure it out. If the number's lower than last year, I might just stick it out because I haven't been doing that badly revenue-wise. You know, going back to using C.H. Robinson and stuff, it just sucks because we've lost so many, and you know, it's my own fault, man. It's my fault. It's the contractor's fault before me that had bad performance on loads, and most of these brokers, it's lasting until now because I haven't ran any loads since people worked here 2 years ago. You know, I let everybody go in 2022 or whatever, or was it whatever it was, 2022? I'm pretty sure. And then a couple stayed through the summer. signed on to BOC. But still, it's like I just don't want to do it anymore, man. I don't want to buy a new truck because I just don't want to. I don't want to do it. I just don't. I want some simplicity back in my life. I feel like I put 5 years into this. In 2021, we grossed $2.1 million. It was chaos. It was just mass chaos. And even now, it's like it's wild, man. It's crazy.
So you can hear it. I mean, they fixed the rocker arms with the bullets, put everything back. So nothing's skipping anymore. It's running the way it was. Probably shouldn't do that in a residential neighborhood. Let's get the fuck out of here.
There we go. We'll strip for. Oh, it's reversed. We'll strip for a new Western Star. New doesn't mean new. I prefer a 99 anyway, so I can stay with the paper logs. You know what I'm saying? So either way, look at this roof on this thing. We gotta take this whole thing. The whole porch has to go. But we just haven't. We did the roof 2 years ago, so we're thinking about getting rid of the porch this year. I don't know. We haven't fully decided yet. What do you think, pup? Get rid of it? Then you can run further around. So, bad news is I'm about 85% convinced to shut down my authority after 5 years. The only thing that's going to change my mind at this point is a really good insurance rate when they come back with it, or some other circumstance. Maybe local guy finally gives me the truck that he owes me, that he stole from me essentially. maybe that, like, I'd have a backup truck I could drive around on. I should have never sold that blue truck, the first truck I started my authority with. I sold it for $18,000, man, and it was worth more than that just sitting in the yard waiting to fill in situations like this. Like, I'm not saying the motor is going to blow anytime soon. It's a C15 6NZ, but it's stuff like that just leads me to believe like that's just the beginning. That's a bad beginning to what could be much worse down the line. Like that was an easy fix, and it cost $2,000 between the tow and a lot of guys would say, "Oh, I carry extra fucking head bolts in my pocket. I shove them up my ass, and when my rocker arm bolts break, I do it on the side of the road, like that or whatever." I did a full motor overhaul in a TA parking lot once, which I believe because I've seen trucks sitting in certain TAs, like the TA in Commerce City and in Denver. Like every time I'm there, the same trucks are in the same exact position every time. It's like they've been there. They just leave the trucks there for years, and they don't pay rent for the spots. But that's getting beyond the topic. So there's a few things that can go my way and decide that I'm actually going to stay in business, or we're going to Swift. So Swift has always been so good to me. I'm gonna be done with this guy trucks. I wrote his name down on the application just in case, so maybe he'll get a nice little $1,000 bonus. So Swift owner operator, hopefully. They did say, I asked the guy a bunch of questions. He did say that I could use my own fuel card or fuel however I chose, which is good because from what I've heard, Swift only gives you a discount of 5 cents off of all retail. Wherever you stop and get fuel, it's 5 cents off, which is, Swift gets a better discount than that with the amount of trucks they have. At Tetros and PAs, I get like $1.25 off in New York, Pennsylvania, and Connecticut. So off the retail prices. So even with my truck getting only 5 miles per gallon, my fuel prices were still like 69 cents per mile, 70 cents per mile. I was still getting very good fuel prices. So I calculated that shit with an 8 mile per gallon truck. I could probably push 9 the way I drive, like an International LT or a Cascadia. I could probably push 9 miles per gallon because I drive those really, really tight. When I was working at JB Hunt, we had a Cascadia with a sleeper, so that was my primary truck that I stayed in. And I think got like 9.2 miles per gallon, which is really nice. We'll see, man. I'll keep you guys updated either way. The deadline for deciding is June 1st. So we got some time between then to continue running some loads. I'm going to do short runs. I'm going to do a lot of short runs because I don't want to. I'd rather stay close to local so people that I know can work on the equipment when it breaks. So hopefully I'm good for 3 or more weeks. And we could just stack this money. I could put away probably $30,000 in those 3 weeks, maybe. That's way too much. What wrong market, dude? I'm lucky to get about $5,000 per week the way I've been operating with a dry van. So that's my goal, $15,000 in the bank account before we take a step off with Swift, and we'll see what happens. But that's the unfortunate news, boys and girls. BOC might be hanging it up after 5 years. So we'll see. It all depends on this insurance renewal. Okay. All right, we'll catch up with you.